Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A very good morning to our lecturer, Safirus bin Muhammad Darus. I, as the representative of the group, Muhammad Ashraf bin Hussein, and I will introduce my member groups. First, Mia Audiana binti Nasrun. Next, Muhammad Hakim bin Alim. And then Muhammad Ishak bin Sidon. Next, Nadira binti Rahim. Nur Amira binti Pazimu, and the last one is Nur Farizati binti Roslan. On 4th November, our group had visited UMW Toyota STM Berhad that located in Sungai Rasah, Shah Alam. Our objective is to develop our knowledge about ISO 14001 in EVT management system, to have better understanding about EMS, significantly for ISO 14001, and to get an experience on how EMS being implemented in the organization. So, in this CD, comprise all the requirement according to EMS requirement in guidance for use.
Introduction. Company background. UMW has multi-sites that have certified with ISO 40001. It has total 41 sites including Peninsular Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak. There are sites at Langkawi, Batu Pahat, Johor Bahru, Kuching, Taiping, Segambut, Temerloh and Labuan, where the headquarters is in Shah Alam. Kuching site was formed in 30 June 2004 and it is the first automobile sales and services. While Melaka, which is formed 13 December 2004, is the first automobile sales and services in Peninsular Malaysia. The UMW Toyota is certified to ISO 14001 by the SIRIM. The recertification audit by the SIRIM is every 3 years from ISO 40001. UMW is committed to maintain the quality environment, safety and health throughout the whole spectrum of process by ensuring strict adherence to established ISO families such as ISO 90,001, ISO 14,001 and ISO 14,004. Currently, the number of employees based on organization chart requirement, approximately 20 staffs consisting of manager, executive, supervisor and employee. The UMW Toyota has defined the benefit from the implementing of the ISO. First, improve environmental performance. Second, standardized work. Third, cost effective. Fourth, regulatory compliance. Environmental benefits, increase employees' environmental awareness, increase employees' involvement, financial benefit, and lastly, increase operating efficiency. The site visit was conducted to develop knowledge about ISO 14001 in environmental management system. Second, to have better understanding about environmental management system significantly for ISO 14001. Third, to conduct an audit plan for the on-site activities. Fourth, to gain knowledge about the future job and careers. And lastly, to share our knowledge and information with the person in charge during site visit. 4.1 General Requirement. The UMW Toyota defined the challenge in balancing environment with business, which is to balance profitability with environment conservation. In order to generate the profit, the company has to conserve the environment from impact of the activity. Hence, the philosophy of the UMW Toyota is to produce car that friendly to the people and the earth. Before implementing the environmental system, the organization has implementing the green environmental activities by monitoring the consumptions of the resources and the discharge from the activities. They have monitored by monthly the energy consumption of the company and they have to control the oil spill from escape to the public drain. The scope UMW Toyota at Sungai Rasah is more to the car services. The cars that have been sold to the customer by other branch will be serviced by the Sungai Rasah branch. The organization defined the effect of the car services activities is more to the discharge of the gas to the air and oil spill. For this report, we focus and identify the UMW Toyota has established, documented, implemented, and maintained the environmental management system and continually improve its effectiveness as followed in the ISO 14001. This company has established documented information required or necessary such as process flow, procedures, work instructions, and others. This was used as references for proper operation and monitoring of processes. UMW Toyota also has implemented necessary actions to achieve planned results such as internal audit and management review and data analysis from corrective and preventive actions for continually improvement of other processes. 4.2 Environmental Policy. The environmental policy of UMW Toyota has been defined by involving deputy chairman, department and head of departments. They have to ensure the policy created is suitable for their activities and environmental impact. There are four main goals of the environmental safety health policy that defined by the UMW Toyota, which is to obey laws and regulations, to use resources efficiently, to prevent work-related incidents and reduce discharge to air, water and land. The policy also regularly reviewed and updated by the top management and usually it reviewed yearly. The policy is communicated to all UMW Toyota employees and the contractors of the company. Their employees were exposed to this policy during their first time working at that company. They also easily can refer to the policy since the company took initiative to publish the policy to the public. It also available for the customers since this policy can be finding easily all over the places of the UMW Toyota, especially at the workshop. This policy has been documented, implemented and established to all employees to achieve their organization's objective and targets, the expectations of their customers as well as the statutory and legal requirements. The policy of the UMW Toyota Motors in Berhad is, first, protect the health and safety of our fellow employees, contracting and individual involved in our operations by preventing work-related and commuting incidents. Second, minimize environmental impact of our operations by continually seeking practicable way of reducing discharge to the air, water and land using energy and water efficiently. Third, comply with all applicable law and regulations and other requirements and to continually improve the environment, health and safety at our workplace through management commitment, employee empowerment and the process control. Fourth, contribute to the community through environmental social responsibility programs. And the last, provide facility, equipment, information, training and supervision for all employees to enable them work in a safe, healthy and environmental responsible manner. 4.3 Landing. 4.3.1 Environmental aspect. The UMW Toyota has defined their aspect and impact from their activities. From service branch activities, the aspect is smoke emission from test driving, prospecting, engine testing, spray booth burner, contribute to the air pollution. Next is discharge wastewater from oil interceptor, sewage treatment plant, car wash, cleaning the floor, contribute to the water pollution. And lastly is the disposal scheduled waste such as waste oil and used rags and spillage give impact to the land pollution. The aspect from the service branch activity and the office activity is electricity consumption, water consumption, petrol diesel consumption, disposal of general garbage such as food waste and unrecyclable give impact to the depletion of the resources, while the office activities aspect, which is recycling of paper, recovery of used dinner, recovery of aircon gas, give impact to the environment.
4.3.2 Legal and other requirement. The other requirement is necessary. Legal requirement refer broadly to any requirement or authorization that is related to an organization environmental aspect as issued by a governmental authority and has legal force. This organization others requirement is implemented from top management set from Japan that is worldwide Toyota same system or target achieved. It is related with EQA law 1974. The organization consider going beyond compliance with existing legal requirements. This can improve environmental performance and improve relation with the public, and also authorities can offset the potential added costs. The top management review the adequacy of the environmental management system to ensure its effectiveness, including its compliance related components. 4.3.3 Objective, Target and Program. The objective of this organization is to reduce consumption of carbon dioxide. This objective is set by top management to meet the environmental policy, commitments and overall organizational goals that carry out. An objective can be expressed as a specific performance level. The target should list from before average last year. It should meet performance levels to ensure the achievement of the objective. Carbon dioxide mostly came from electricity that the organization used. So, to achieve this objective, they reduce electricity consumption such as each staff close switch after work or did not use it. Besides that, when paint car release much carbon dioxide to the environment. Next, to minimize this problem, they intend to do oil trap to reduce carbon dioxide release. Furthermore, they also spray operational control under 10 mg per cube. All branches of Toyota also do the same thing, but each outlet have different target. The target of this organization is to balance profitability with environment. They just don't want to get high profit but give bad impact towards the environment. It must be balanced both of that. Otherwise, they will be given penalty 500,000 and 5 years prison if not followed the ISO 14001. The organization have a mandatory requirement to achieve its goal by reduce discharge to air, water and land. This objective and target must be achieved to improve environmental performance in some areas while maintaining its level of environmental performance in others.
Resources, roles, responsibility and authority is under 4.4.1. From the site visit, UMW Toyota was ensured that company have ability of resources essential to establish, implement, maintain and improve the environmental management system. UMW Toyota define their environmental management representative by selecting their top manager level. This EMR has lead all the activity of UMW Toyota branch in Sungai Rasah. From the EMR, UMW Toyota has balanced their business by illustrate by diagram in next slide. Okay, this slide will represent balancing environment with business of UMW Toyota. The challenge of UMW Toyota is to balance the environment and the profitability. Competence, training and awareness under 4.4.2. UMW Toyota ensure the person performing tasks follow standard operational procedure and due to the environmental aspect. UMW Toyota also give appropriate education, training and experience to their workers, and all the records was documented. Okay, this is structure and responsibility of UMW Toyota EMS team. Start from EMS review committee, followed by internal EMS audit team, and then corporate HQ, second last site EMS committee, and last all employees and contractors.
So now I will presenting the clause 4.4.3, which is communication. In every company that apply ISO 14001 will establish, implement and maintain procedure by communicating internally and externally. This can also be seen in UMW Toyota as they communicate by using internal and external methods. Communication in UMW Toyota uses both downward and upward pattern. First of all, I would like to define the meaning of internal and external communication. Internal can be defined as communication between and among the levels and functions within an organization, whereas external communication is defined as the communication with external interested parties. 4.3.1 Environmental aspect. Next, what is downward and upward pattern? The pattern of the downward communication flows from supervisor, who is the environmental committee, to employee, which consists of the contractors who work at the operation site, from policymakers to operating personnel, or from top to bottom of the organizational chart. Internal communication consists of 6 methods. Firstly is the newsletter. Newsletter is crucial in the UMW Toyota as to recruit the employees. The newsletter consists of information in the corporation to ensure that employees will always be up to date on latest issues. Next is face-to-face. It can be also called as meeting with the employees. The meeting involves only the head of every department as representatives. The representative will get some short briefing and explanation for coordinations of activities as to assist employees to fulfill their targets and objectives. Third is the notice board. The notice board, the information on what upcoming events and what currently happen in the corporation will be pasted on the notice board. This is to ensure that employees knows the update on the companies and getting informations. Next is bulletins. Bulletins in UMW Toyota will provide information on the news about achievement of the corporation. The news feed on stocks also will be on the bulletin as to keep the employees updated. Next is memo. Memo, it is a short notification given by the management to the subordinates, especially for the urgent cases. It is not a formal way of communicating. It is important daily message to the employees. Lastly, the corporation use email. Email is the way of using electronic to communicate with the employees of each level. It is the fastest and easiest way of delivering and receiving information, especially from the top management. Email is actually used in internal and external communication. Okay, for the next slide, we go to the external methods of communication. In this company, email is used in both external and internal. This is because email is the fastest and most efficient way of receiving and delivering information. It will make the business become easier as they do not need to meet with each other. For example, the intention of having a site visit to UMW Toyota, we only communicate with the environmental department through email. Secondly, websites also one of the medium used by UMW Toyota to communicate externally with people. The website comprises the product and services provided by the corporation. Many updates and news can be obtained at the tip of our fingers. The website that can be visited is www.toyota.com. Third, telephone hotlines. Every staffs from all departments will be provided with telephone hotlines. Usually, the hotline was directed to the headquarters, then telephone will be extended to the interested department. Telephone hotline also made to enable the customer to ask for opinions and comments on their products and services. Last method of external communication used by UMW Toyota is advertisement. The advertisements will be circulated all around Malaysia on their products. Usually, we can find the advertisement in the newspapers or brochures. It will be greater when they are having promotion on certain products. It is useful to attract more people to use their products and to show to others that they are good in managing and providing services. In communication, there are interested parties involved in UMW Toyota. The interested parties include suppliers, customers, Toyota Motor Corporations, UMW Group, contractors, and TMAP. Now, the next clause is 4.4.4, which says documentation. The documentation includes statements of policy. The policy is to keep remind all staffs about their objectives and target. It has designation by the chairman and president of UMW Toyota. There are 4 main goals stated in the policy. Firstly is the compliance, whereby UMW Toyota will always make sure that they are obey the law and regulations. Secondly, they hold with conservation. Conservation means they always try to use resources efficiently without cause harm to environment. Next is protection. The protection brings to prevent the work-related incidents. It is an awareness to the workers about the health and safety in the workplace. Lastly, UMW Toyota also behold on the accident and pollution prevention. The pollution prevention is emphasized clearly by UMW Toyota, where they reduce the discharge of pollutants to air, water, and land. Next document shows by UMW Toyota is Certificate of Environment Activities. The certificate is certified by Jabatan Alam Sekitar to confirm that the company is comply with the legal requirements, and it will be revised every 3 years and will be kept for 7 years. Thirdly, organizational chart. Thirdly, Thirdly is the organizational chart. Organizational chart also categorized as a document where it is readable by others. The charts have 2 types. One comprised with the main president of UMW Toyota, and another one is the small divisions of UMW Toyota. The chart functions as to give information about the responsibilities of the staffs in the department. Every department have their own organizational chart. Despite site emergency plan also one of the documents that can be recognized used by UMW Toyota. The plans consist of procedure on how to act whenever accident and emergencies happens, and it will be revised every 7 years. The last document that had been shown to us is the descriptions of programs and responsibilities. It describes the responsibility of all staffs to always focus on the objectives and targets. The most important aspect is they should always comply with legal requirements. The descriptions of programs and responsibilities are as follows. Firstly, establish and provide support for the Environmental Management System EMS and ISO 14001 certification. Second, provide awareness and information through training or briefing to new existing employees. Thirdly is the conduct internal EMS audits and inspections. Fourth, coordinate and support environmental initiatives or activities within UMW Toyota. Lastly is window person with environmental divisions of TMAP and TMC.
Assalamualaikum, and my name is Nur Amira binti Pazimu. I will continue for 4.4.5, which is control of document. Control of document is to ensure that the organizations create and maintain the document in a manner sufficient to implement the EMS. Control of document, there are 2 elements which is important and controlled by. UMW through Syndrome had established the procedure for approved document for prior to use. The procedure is approved by the top management and certain new additional procedure required approved by top management from Japan. Besides, this company make a revisions or review the document that already established for updating as necessary and re-approve document to create a new versions of document. Usually these activities are done for every 3 years. For any changes that occur in current version of document status are identified by EMR and top managements. So the worker with right positions such as SF, SHO and EMR in UMW Syndrome Berhad for each branch will be participate the full training conducted in 3 days for them viewing and understanding the new version of changes in EMS. UMW Toyota Syndrome had also conduct the training or meeting for the workers to introduce the current version of EMS of the organizations in order for the workers to implement the required criteria when performing their work. UMW Toyota Syndrome had also controlled the document by developing an appropriate document such as format that include title, number, date, revisions, revision histories, and authorities. This format can ensure that the establishment of document cannot be copied by others. Next is a 4.4.6, which is operational control. Operational controls is an organizations need to apply some type of operational controls to meet its environment policy, commitments, achieve its objective and targets, comply with applicable legal requirement and other requirement to which organization subscribes and manage its significant environmental aspect. UMW Toyota Company identified the needs for operational control by the organizations identify significant environmental aspects such as smoke, exhaust, discharge wastewater, and electricity consumptions. Besides, they ensure that they comply with legal and other requirements by choosing the contractor that have the list in DOE. UMW Toyota ensure that they achieve objective and targets by establish the target for 20-month period such the consumption of electricity to reduce emission of carbon dioxide. They also minimize environmental risks and organize an event such planting the trees. UMW Toyota Syndrome Berhad for Sungai Rasah branch, they make procedures and work instruction for operational control. For instance, the organizations aim to reduce the emissions of carbon dioxide. The emissions of carbon dioxide is produced from the burning of fossil fuel to generate the electricity. They establish a procedure and plan that need to carry out and control by monitoring the monthly basis the consumptions of electricity. Besides, they also provide the reminder at the switch to turn off the switch when it is not used. Apart from that, these organizations organize an event such planting the trees along the road. In control their environmental aspect that give impact to water pollutions from discharge wastewater, UMW Toyota Syndrome Berhad for Sungai Rasau branch establish work instructions or procedure such schedule for waste disposal from car servicing, which is mainly all disposal which taken from contractor that are hired. In order for maintaining the operational control related to EMS, the organizations document all the procedure as needed in form of instruction, sign, form and photos to ensure that the workers, especially related to the car servicing, followed directly the procedure or instruction.
CPA. CPA stands for Conformity Preventive Action Request. Is improvement action or process that organization should implement to correct the non-conformity. There's two main emergency, fire and oil spillage. Fire classified under OSHA. when we will focus more about oil spillage. There is three levels of oil spillage: minor, moderate, and big. Minor oil spillage defined as under 30 milliliter. Moderate between 30 millimeter and 100 liter. Big oil spillage is more than 100 liter. Oil spillage may cause when transferring new oil into the IBC tank, or while maintenance of the oil interceptor, or while transferring used oil. 4.5 Checking. 4.5.1 Monitoring and measurement. For example, their aim is to control and reduce electricity consumption and to improve from the last year 2014 baseline electrical consumption. They monitor the progress monthly and report it quarterly. Some of the programs established to achieve the target are: set specific time for switching on and off on selective items such as air conditioner can only be switched on the office hour. Next, put a poster reminder to save electric, switch off the light when not in use. Next, cleaner must clean the light bulb regularly because when the light bulb is cleaned, the amount of the light bulb needed to illuminate the room will be less. After that, they have to submit the data to see if the target are being achieved, and if it's not, they will have to justify it. How and what to monitor? Well, for the electric bill, we can measure the progress quantitatively. Unit is kilowatt per hour over total unit service. How many car service are proportional to the amount of electric used. 4.5 Checking. 4.5.2 Evaluation of compliance. There is three methods of audit and evaluation of compliance. First, physical assessment. Second, assessment of record and document. And third, interview. Physical assessment, such as the sticker must be on the drum, or if there is oil in the public drain, the SIPA will be raised. Assessment of record and document. Collect a person and his or her record and audit him or her based on his or her document. Interview. Interview worker if they follow the right procedure and check it against the standard procedure. Once a year there will be audit. If SIRIM found a non-conformity, SIPA will be raised. Certification will not be drawn, but the SIRIM will give the company time to fix the problem. 4.5.3 Non-conformity, corrective action, and preventive action. SIPA. SIPA stands for Conformity Preventive Action Request. Is improvement action or process that organization should implement to correct the non-conformity. For example, they detect the root cause, which is lubricant in a public drain that caused from technicians that do not alert with the regulation but discharge the oil into broken interceptor. The corrective action will take by the company to ensure the cause will not occur by reporting the problem to the head department for more close CPAR.
Okay, next I'll proceed with the ISO 14001 clause 4.5.4, which is the control of records. Okay, an organization shall establish, implement, and maintain records that's suitable to show conformity to the requirements of its environmental management system and of the IS international standard and the results achieved. Okay, the procedures for the identification, storage, protection, retrieval and retention, and the disposal of records shall be established, implemented, and maintained also by the organization. The record shall be remain legible, identifiable, and traceable within the organization, easily for employees to find the records. Okay, so this means that organization need to keep the records in order to demonstrate, to show the previous activities that had been complied with the legislation. Okay, the records such as the discharge consents to sewer, process authorization and variation notice, control waste consignment notes, and other necessary records which include accidents, incidents, training, performance monitoring, internal audits, and management reviews. So, for example, in UMW Toyota, there are Site Environmental Management System Committee, which includes Site Environmental Management Representative, which is the EMR. Okay, the EMR has the responsibility and authority in the development, implement, and maintain the EMS at the site level, and maintain the operational control procedures and environmental management system as required for the organization. Okay. The record shall be retained for 2 years period before the disposal process of the record, and the record will be include the procedure of EMS, any changes done within the organization, and any communication from internal and external parties, which include complaints. Okay, so next is clause 4.5.5, which is the internal audit. Okay, in this audit, it explained that this clause requires the organization to carry out periodic plan of environmental management system audit, which is in order to determine that environmental management system conforms to the arrangement that has been planned and meet the requirement of the international standards. Okay, furthermore, this organization also need to carry out audit in order to provide feedback to management of the results of such audits, and the audits must be conducted on a plan and schedule to reflect environmental management system significance of the activities that had been audited. Okay, in the next slide, it shows about the procedure for internal audit. So, audit procedure shall be established, implemented, and maintained, which indicate the roles and requirements for planning and conducting audits, the reporting results, and the retaining associated record, and indicate the determination of audit criteria, scope, frequency, and methods. So in UMW, the internal audit is conducted in once a year, and the person that conducts the internal audit is the personnel or the employee from the other department of the UMW Toyota company. So the selection of the auditors and the audits conducted should ensure the objectivity and impartiality of the audit process. Okay, next is clause 4.6, which is the management review. Okay, this clause explains that management review requires the top management of the organization shall review the EMS regularly or in a range of time which they had determined in order to ensure the EMS continuing suitability, adequacy, and effectiveness. Okay, it's a common sense. Once a system is implemented, there should be a review process to test and check whether what has been planned and implemented are being applied in reality within the organization. So management review is the key to continual improvement and to ensure that the environmental management system continuously to meet and achieve the organization's need and objective. The management review should assess how changing circumstances might influence the suitability, effectiveness, and adequacy of the organization's EMS. Okay, so change in circumstances may be internal or external factor which might affect the organization. So the internal factors are such as new facilities, new materials, change in product or services, and even change in group of customers, type of customers. So for the external factors are the new laws implemented in the country or certain area, the scientific information from external parties, and also the changes in adjacent land use. Okay, so the last slide for the management review shows the inputs which include in the management review. So according to the executive environment of UMW Toyota, Madam Purita, the management review for UMW is done every year, and the recently management review had been done during September 2015. So based on what Madam Purita has said, management review is when the information required are discussed and shared with the top management. So the input that include in the management review for UMW Toyota are the audit result, which involve the 41 outlets, The variation of compliance, which is the VOC, with legal requirement or other requirement in which the organization subscribe, and the communication from external parties, which include complaints. Furthermore, objective and target statement, also the inputs for company's management review, for example, is the status of electricity program which had been held in the company in order to increase the awareness among the employees about the consumption and electricity savings. Okay, next is the CPAR, which is the Conformity Preventive Action Request. Any non-conformance or non-compliance found during the audit in the UMW Toyota, the audit will be raised under CPAR. Okay, for example, when Serim Company audit UMW Toyota, and if Serim found non-conformance during the audit, Serim will raise non-conformance to UMW Toyota, but they would not take the certificate of UMW Toyota. Instead, Serim will give UMW Toyota time to do countermeasure plan and review back the certification. Okay, other inputs that also include in the management review for UMW Toyota company is any matters that follow up from the previous management review, any new developments for improvement and suitability of EMS policy. Okay, last but not least is the environmental performance, which also the inputs for management review for UMW Toyota company. Okay, so every year the same topic will be discussed in the management review for this company, but all the topics must be completed as per the procedure. Okay, according to Madam Punita also, how top management ensure that the company comply with legal requirement or other requirement is by confirming that company had complied and done the requirement for the current year, or by asking why other branches are not success to comply with the requirement, and the problem that faced by other branches that cause them to not comply to the requirement. Okay. So, for example, UMW Toyota in Sungai Rasah score point is below 50 during the audit. Okay, they only score 50. So the top management must know what are the problems faced by this branch. The problem might be due to facility problems, budget problems, or something was wrong with the oil interceptor. Okay, if all these issues are not highlighted or told to the top management, the employees cannot solve the problem by themselves, since top management who is responsible with the company's budget. Thus, this kind of issues has to be highlighted during management review for UMW Toyota company, and the one who will check all the standard for this issue is the external auditor.